Thank you, Dave. That'll be all. Would you like a slice of bread, Dad?
Sure. Thanks, Lona.
It was supper time on the
like
Blue
more
Hill
rain's
Ranch.
coming.
Dave says
The
it'll be over
cook,
by
old
morning.
Dave Betts,
Here, have
retired
some
to the
potatoes.
kitchen. Poke Markham and his daughter Lona had already started eating when the foreman, Frank Mailer, came in.
Evening, Poke. Lona.
Lona was afraid of Frank Mailer, the man whom she was to marry. He was big, the biggest man she had ever seen. But it was not his size alone that frightened her. There was something cruel in his blue, slightly glassy eyes, and a harshness in his thin-lipped mouth.
Did you get that north herd moved before the rain set in?
Yeah.
Mailer helped himself to 2 huge slabs of beef, a mound of mashed potatoes, and liberal helpings of everything else. He was 5 inches over 6 feet and weighed 250 pounds. Whenever he stood near Lona, the sheer mass of him overwhelmed her, and the way he looked at her made her uneasy. Right now, he wasn't paying her any attention at all. Between bites, he looked up at Poke Markham.
I saw the Black Rider again.
Oh? On our range?
Mm-hmm. Just like they were saying in town, he was riding the high country over on the far side of the valley.
Did you get close to him, see what he looks like?
Not a chance. Just caught a glimpse of him against the rocks, and he was gone, vanished, just like smoke.
Mailer threw Markham a sly, knowing glance.
You know what the Mexicans say, but he's the ghost of a murdered man.
Bantam Doubleday Dell Audio Publishing presents Monument Rock, a dramatization of the short story by Louis L'Amour.
That's foolishness. He's real enough. I just want to know who he is and what he thinks he's doing.
Did you ever see any tracks? I never did. Maybe the Mexicans are right.
Stop your nonsense. You'll have Lona scared out of her wits, riding all over like she does.
Mailer looked at her, then let his eyes drift down over her body. She wondered, for the 10,000th time, how she had ever agreed to marry him. His temper was well known, and his drunken fights had wrecked several of the saloons in town. All except the Fandango. Was it true what people said, that Mailer was really interested in the beautiful Spanish woman who had recently taken over the place? Nita Reardon was her name. Lona didn't care. In fact, she found herself wishing it were true. When supper was over, Lona excused herself and returned to her room. She went to the window and looked out at the great sweep of land that was the Blue Hill Ranch. Her ranch, or at least it would be someday. She studied the distant wall of mountains to the southwest. It was over there that the strange rider was seen. Suddenly, as if in response to her thought, a horseman materialized in the rain, no more than 100 yards from the house. As she looked, she saw him draw up, and sitting tall in the saddle, he stared back at the ranch house. Under his black, flat-brimmed hat, nothing of his face was visible, but somehow she felt certain that he saw her. For a moment they stared at each other. Then the horse started to walk away. But as he moved, the Black Rider raised a hand and waved. Then he was gone, vanished like a shadow. But he had waved to her. Recalling the stories, she knew that was something that had never happened before. Lona lay down on her bed, her heart pounding with excitement. She must tell Gordon Flynn about what she had just seen. He would be as surprised as she was. Flynn was the youngest hand in the bunkhouse, and the only person on the ranch who seemed to care much what she thought or how she felt. Gordon, and of course Dave Betts, the old cowhand who was their cook. Frank Mailer dropped into an old leather armchair opposite his boss in the parlor of the ranch house. He began to roll himself a smoke. The old man was seated by the fire, nodding a little over his after-dinner pipe. It made Frank smile. Markham, if that's what he wanted to be called, had aged.
You feeling okay, Pope?
Oh, sure. Of course I am.
To think how they all had feared him. Jeslyn, Starr, and the others. Not Mailer himself, of course. Poke's ranch had kept them all safe from the law when they had needed it.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?